Today we'll be doing a reading called Blindness. Likum pa kamat salau karadu m panatharu. Nuwaupu b wu-nuwaupu. The natural meaning of the word positive or non-ether, as taught in our own culture, Wu-Nuwaup, in our own papyrus, is the conditions of natural nature moving towards standard values and qualities that grows better and higher towards perfection and dark energy, dark materials and neutrino at a first movement called time, by rules and order, and also ascending reason and purpose existence, on and in creation. On the other side, the unnatural nature, meaning of the word negative, six ether, is just the opposite of positive. By laws and chaos of man-made things, even a man-made kind of man, man's kind, kin to the original man. Muk-Adamu, Adamite, six ether beings, made 6,000 years from 2000 AD, backwards in time to 4000 BC, unnatural creation and creatures. Nin Kadish, positive, by rules and bliss of the original man, grown things, even a grown man, humanoid, kin of which mankind mixed with, Mangaru, Nagaru, non-etheric, being grown with the sun, natural, creative, and creator. Black is positive, such as the base for all life, carbon. So is dark energy and dark matter, source of all physical creation. Darkness is good, constructive force of nine as a birth. White is negative, such as the base for all destructive, fire, destroy. Lightning destroys, light blinds. Brightness is bad, destructive, force of six as in sex. The more sex, the more death. There is no light in the Raham, womb. Once born into this world of light begins the chaos, evil, sin, wickedness. Nuwaupu, you look back into the time, you will see the dark races having bliss, peace, harmony, built, constructed, great monuments, pyramids, temples, scripts, all over the planet Earth. And you will see the light race of white people as of 4000 BC by way of war, violence, migration, to steal, lie, kill, rape, with disharmony, destroyed, burnt, broke down, let all in ruin, decay, demolition, wreck, rubble, waste. You have built as dark races. They have destroyed as light race, and they use in the name of a deity of light, the first burning bush, being bright, glowing light, the Holy Ghost, Holy Script, cloven tongue, like as of fire lightning, white light, the root of their own religion and records, the Torah, the evangelists, the Quran, the true Trinity, the Torah, the Father, the Evangel, the Son, the Quran, the Holy Ghost, records of the Yahweh, Theos, Allah, God of light and fire, the heaven, light, the hell, fire, their God, light, their hell, fire. They are in fact all the exact light. Light is fire, fire is light. It's the seed of the Adamite race of ruddy, blush, rose, pale, and white race of leprosy, who made of laws in religion, in religious laws. And in the Western, he makes sure that the darker people always have a light-skinned leader or teacher or preacher over them, because he or she, being the lighter of our race, will use darkness as evil or bad, blackness as bad, for that is what is in the light or white race religion. Book of the Bible and the Quran teaches, and when mistranslated into English, on this planet Earth, they divided it into two time zones called night and day, or dark and light, a 24-hour time zone. Even in actual fact, there is no night and day, because it is the planet that moves around the sun. So the white race, to speak of his birth, says the sunrise or morning light, as if the light, the brightness is good and the darkness is bad. This is just another of their many lies and deceptions, for the sun does not raise or bring light. The sun always shines, yet it shines out of the darkness. It has birth date, record, and it will die. Darkness has no birth date, record, and cannot ever die. Light is limited, dark is unlimited. Light is created, dark exists. The white race was made, the black race grown with natural nature. So the white race and the religious laws teach black is bad, dark is evil, knowing that is not the truth. That their own God, Yahweh, Allah, was dwelling in darkness as their own book claims. 1 King 18:12, 2 Chronicles 6:1, Psalms 18:11, Psalms 18:12. Their Yahweh, God, Allah, says the brightness was being him. His thick cloud passed hailstone and coals of fire. Now in verse 13 also mention his fire as Leviticus 10:2, Isaiah 24:15, Isaiah 66:15. Even baptized with fire, Matthew 3:11, Luke 3:16, Luke 12:49, Hebrew 1:7, Revelation 20:9. Their God is of fire of light, whiteness, made a physical race in their own or in his image of a white race, a light race, a fire race born out of darkness of the womb. Job 14:1, man Adam, that is born of a woman. The Adamite race is in the image of their God, Elohim, Allahat, gods, from fire beings, 2 Corinthians 11:2, Luke 10:18. So if the cause of the children of light will teach dark is evil, who is this son of God, of light and fire? Isaiah 14:2, Lucifer, the light bearer, carrier of the torch of fire. Philippians 2:15, Revelation 22:16. So they will allow light-skinned persons or one's own race of darker persons to be allowed to be the leaders and teachers, because inside they have no problem teaching evil or bad as darkness, as they themselves is light. Now, not as in fire or evil. They have been programmed to think they're better good than darker people on earth until they come to know Wu-Nuwaup. The religions of the Bible and Quran teaches dark is evil, light is good. When you die, walk into the white light. That is the spell that only Wu-Nuwaup can break, heal. Jews, Christians, Muslims, Negroes will present a light skin as your leader, teacher, preacher, even your own God, if you accept that you're under the spell of self-hate, a sickness from the Adamites, 6,000 years old teaching. Wu-Nuwaup says, don't offer me a white Moses, don't offer me a white Jesus, don't offer me a white Muhammad, don't offer me a white master fraud Muhammad, don't offer me a white God, deity, Yahweh, Allah. I am black and I am proud of it. No white person can save me, be they European or American, European or Arab. I'm not blind if he looks white on the outside, if he is white on the inside by natural nature. It is about the mitochondria DNA that is only passed on from mother to child to the ancestors, come by way of the mother that is in the person. If his mother is white, he is of the white genes. That is genetic fact. If a wise son, he will take a mate who is dark to strengthen his own seed and his children's seed. If a wise daughter, she will take a mate who is dark to strengthen her own seed and her children's seed. Negro, stop preaching and teaching of a white God who has all the power, yet does not use it to help our race at all, who does not stop sin, evil, sickness, disease, war, crime, deform, birth, virus, hate, murder, and rape. A white God, you say, is our savior as black, who did not do one thing to teach the physical conditions of our race, only watch as his race, the Adamite, abused us for 6,000 years, came 2,000 years ago in white skin, as Jesus did not help us at all. Now you claim a white Arab came to America to save us and have not stopped physical abuse, just a lot of words, speeches, yet no divine power at all. Nothing changed for our race except words. And he chose light-skinned leaders and let the dark die. Malcolm X, light-skinned. Minister Farrakhan, light-skinned. Always the same. He called us African savages in his teachings, where he W.F. Muhammad claimed to be the prophet, no Allah. and Elisha Muhammad as a messenger, not Moses or Jesus. Yet with the teaching, it did not remove the devil, as it says to come in his own good time to remove the devil, white race, off the planet. Well, it's 2000 AD, and the devil is still here on the planet with his same old devilishment, killing, abuse, war, stealing, lying, deceiving, still the same old devil, and nothing has physically changed for the Negro race since 1930 to 2000 AD. Truth is truth. Yet now that WuNuwaupu has confirmed the end of the devil's dominion of 6,000 years, you only have to look at world news to see he is on his way out, and not by Arab religion of Islam, not by European religion of Christianity, not by Jewish religion of Mosesism, by way of WuNuwaupu, the right knowledge, the right wisdom, the right knowledge, the sound right reasoning, which give you right overstanding. So stop offering us and let us stop accepting those other than self and kind and their own interpretation of what we should follow and obey. Give our souls over to stop listening to leaders who have offered undercover slave master teaching, worshiping the image of the Adamite race of their God, by whichever language, tongue teachers of their Bible and their Quran. They all teach the same God or gods, angels, saviors, from 6,000 years ago, beings who came down to the planet Earth, and as Genesis 1:2 says, and made a ruddy man, Adam, in their own image. Genesis 1:26, 27 Quran 2:30 through 31. A mischief maker, a shedder of blood, one who would cause corruption, a race of wicked, evil, humanoid. Genesis 6:5, children of the devil. John 8:44, children of God, of light and fire. They all teach that the Egyptians and the pharaohs were so bad. Egypt is in Africa. The pharaohs were Africans, black race. Yet, in the West, each group founded by the pale race leaders teach Egyptians were bad for allowing the seed of Abraham to come and stay safe in our lands. What was the first thing Ibrahim did was to lie to the Pharaoh. Genesis 20:1-2, 10-12. What kind of man is a Chaldean to offer his wife to another man to sleep with out of fear for his own life? And Quran 2, verse 130 says, follow his way. And when you read in the book of Paul, Acts, chapter 2, it lists the people who was at the day of Pentecostal who got possessed by a fire, being slit or cloven tongue, life as a fire, and it entered upon each of them. This was 2,000 years ago, after the white race had taken over parts of Egypt. Isaiah 19:1-3. That is Greek, Roman, other than the Canaanites, took over parts of Egypt. So you see Egypt listed in Acts 2:10, and Libya. And today you find pale-skinned Egyptians and Libyans all across North Africa, east to west, ruddy skin color, and the original seed of Africans. They were possessed by the gods of light and fire. Also you read Acts 2:11, and Arabians, the last one listed, also there's also possessed speaking tongues, the wonderful works of Theos, God of light and fire. This was before the Quran was given to Ahmed bin Abdullah Muhammad between the years 610 and 632 AD. So the Arabs also have the split tongue of the devil. They also were there and now claim in their books, Quran 15:27, of fire. Evil is created, who created him? Genesis 3:1. Their own God, who himself is of fire. Quran 24:35. The Allah is of light and fire. His 93rd attribute is Allahu, El-Nur, and Nur. In existence of Muhammad, time only candlelight, which is in by fire. Who create fire, or Sir, blaze of fire? Quran 33:63. Allah does, who creates. Quran 38:76. Wake up, Nuwaupians. Who created the many hells? Fire, their God of light and fire can be extinguished, put out. So how can someone put out Allah light? By mouth. Quran 61:8. Wards off or blow out a fire of lies with the wind, souls of actual facts. The God, Yahweh, Jah, Elohim, Allah, El-Ahad, El-Nur, El-Nar, Rab, El Shaddai, Ashaddai, El Shaddai. This is the being of light, which is the Bible in Quranic times was fire. So to say that light only means knowledge is to really speak of the spark in the human brain, synapses, the nerve cells through which nerve impulses are transmitted, seen as sparks of light in the brain. So if Allah is light as knowledge, they are saying Allah has a physical brain to be of intellect. That is Arabic. What is the real brain spark or synapses is called? Brain newts. Newts, spontaneous thoughts. Brain newts, nuts. Natat, spontaneous. That is natural nature, act and react automatically. So to say Allah is light, it means intellect. It is to say Allah has synapses. To say Allah is the light of heaven and earth is to say Allah is the sunlight. While the Muslims have the name of Allah as 93, Al-Nur, the light, and knows that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth, and have a chapter in their Quran, now 91, originally 26, just as the 26,000 year procession of the equinox. Arabic for sun, Al-Shemish, from the Hebrew strong number 8122. Shemish from the Hebrew strong number 8121 means brilliant in a ray. Don't be wu-nuwaupins. The God of the Bible and Quran is the same God of light and fire as found in ancient Arabs called El-Majus, the magician, Magi, Magi, mentioned in Quran 22:17, along with the Judahites and the Sabbateans and Nazarites and Magi. The Magus, Magi, Magi, Magus was in fact ancient Sumerians, Persians of Chaldea, where Abraham was born, the priest of wizards of the Daniel, the priests and wizards. Daniel 5:11, Chaldea, they worshiped the deity under the emblem of fire and became the 6th century of BC, the religious sect of Zoroaster, as astrology, stargazers. The center of their belief was the sun, center of the solar system, the zodiac from Zodiacus, Kikos, meaning circle. So they were sun worshippers, and today's sun became sun. Yet in their Bible you will find Sunas, sun, Malachi 4:2, Psalms 84:11. You see sun for their Yahweh, Elohim, their Lord God, the same deity in Quran of Islam. Wake up, my children. Break the spell of the worship of the white life, the white race, the God of light and fire, the morning star, the son of the morning. You even read their Jesus, Moses, Elisha, Shin, Matthew 17:1-2, Mark 9:2-3, Luke 9, Book of Enoch 89:41. Now, for 400 years in the West, they have been offering you to give your soul to white light of the God of light and fire in the form of the religious of Abraham, Adamites to Muhammad. The seed of Adam, Quran 3:33, that is right down to Muhammad of Arabia, will do all kinds of adjustment to their teachings, translations of their books, Bibles, and Quran to get you into their faith. They send all kinds of light-skinned people, non-Africans, non-Native American, black skin to convert you into the God of light and fire, to worship the physical and mental image of themselves. In actual fact, they are offering you to their own Nanar, El Shaddai, son of Enlil, Baal, a Yahweh of the Elohim, or Rab, Elahat, Lord of the gods, King of kings, Lord of lords, Revelation 19:15-21, the master deceiver, Revelation 12:9-12, who came down to earth in flesh and blood. These Anunnakis and Anakim, Genesis 6:1-5, Genesis 18:1-2, Genesis 11:5-7. They use our own race to convert us to the image of the beast, Revelation 3:1-18, images, Genesis 1:26-27. Wake up, my children, and return their religion to them of Abrahamism, that is Mosesism, Jesusism, and Mohammedism. Return their books to them of Abrahamism, that is the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Last Testament, Bible, Gospel, Quran, the book of extraterrestrials who came or was sent down to earth to win you over to their God from above, who are only extraterrestrials, Job 9:9, Job 38:31-32, Amos 5:8. who came down by 1,000 after 200. Psalm 68:17. Now in human form, the white race, children of the bright shining ones of light, and fire seeks your own soul in devotion, blind faith, belief, and offer you to their makers of 6,000 years ago. Now our own race accept and teach on behalf of the religion from Adam to Muhammad. The pair of Arabs are with them and was with them. Bible Acts 2:11. The Quran, the little book. Tawad.
Yasar. I will be reading sayings of Pa Nabab Yaanuwn. Some of you may remember some of these, and some of these may be new to you. So I'm just going to read a few. 1. It is not the pen that writes, it is the soul. 2. When I breathe out, I forget when I breathe in. I remember. 3. If I call you a thief and you turn around, then you must be. 4. If you do not label every aspect of your personality with different colors, you will not recognize them when they are up close and they will seize you. 5. A woman is like a torch. If she's lit right, you will not get burnt. The same for men. 6. This world is divided into two people, the righteous and the unrighteous, and it's always the so-called righteous that do the dividing. 7. Nature provided mortals with sustenance, intellect, and will. A combination of these produces a healthy, intelligent individual in a healthy environment. 8. It's simple enough, just move on. 9. Where are we going? Where we came from? Where we have. 9. Where are we going? Where we came from? Where have we come from? Every place and no place. To this place. So come, let's go. 10. Don't believe anyone, not even yourself. Number 11. I love you, what you are inside, but fear what I see you doing with it. 12. Religions are for those who fear death. 13. Divine truth, never conflict. 14. Religions are for those who don't wish to face the facts. 15. Actual facts are all you need. 16. If you call me a liar for telling you the truth, what are you? 17. To overstand Pa Nutharu, the overseers, it is to overstand the positive and negative of every individual. You cannot love Pa Nutharu, the overseers, if you do not accept the positive and negative in every individual. You are not applying the principle of creation, because obviously, nature accepts the agreeable and disagreeable from us. 18. Why does water come from your eyes when you weep? It cleanses. 19. You will know the truth if you seek it. It will find you. 20. What is pain but another feeling? 21. To desire security is a sign of insecurity. 22. Just because your parents named you does not mean that it is who and what you are. 23. Patience is self-control over a long period of time. 24. Being born into a religion only means you were not of it while in the spiritual realm before birth. 25. In old age, receive the benefits of a graduate if you were an intuitive student. 26. Who said you have to believe what your parents believed? 27. Never shop for food when hungry. 28. Eat when hungry, not 3 times a day, because they say you should. Eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner as they do. 29. New name for old things, don't change them. 30. You are always a baby to someone. 31. To mortals is given, to give charity of the things they gain. Yet the charity of Panatharu, the overseers, is confirmation. 32. You let yourself be hurt by others. 33. Others steal, yet when it comes to you, you just take. 34. Only animals live with other animals. 35. Each fleeting moment is growth and change. You cannot take away from it or add to it. 36. How can you get into an argument with yourself? 37. Panatharu, the overseers, love us more than we love ourselves, so our pain hurts them more than it hurts us. 38. We all love in different ways, in different amounts. 39. Light can only be found in darkness, which is why I have come. 40. It is taking time out for something. 40. Is taking time out for something stealing time? 41. Panatharu, the overseers, have given you 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. They expect you to watch and listen twice as much as you speak. 42. Happiness is making others happy. 43. You can't get here standing there. 44. You were not born with her or him, so why put up with it? 45. Who cares who planted the tree? Just enjoy the fruit. 46. If a man will raise his hand to you, he will in time hit you. 47. The other line always moves faster. 48. The first sign of abuse is a raised voice. 49. Mortals' final aim should be perfection and divinity. 50. Who decided what was beautiful and what is not? Tawhat Yasar.
So if anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns, this would be the time.
Thank you for sharing. My question is, actually I have 2. Just an elaboration on what the sister was reading from Nabab, Yaanuwn. Oh shoot, where'd it go? Don't believe anyone, not even yourself. I just want to hear a little more meaning to that.
Okay, there's a lot of different meanings to the sayings.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say I know which, I'm not gonna say I know what's the meaning of all the meanings, but you said it was the one that says,
don't believe anyone, not even yourself. I don't remember what number it was.
I mean, first, if we start off with the word believe, we're not supposed to believe at all. You're supposed to know. So something or action that you do yourself is already confirmed because it's you who's actually doing that action. So it's really not a such thing as, the word believe. We're not supposed to believe in the first place. So the first thing that has to be addressed is the actual first word is believe. Whether it's from you or whether it's from an outside entity, we're not supposed to believe either one. But at least with you, it can be confirmed whether it's a lie or not. From the outside, it may go either or.
Thank you for that. And then this one was more from the beginning. The sister was reading. I think it was I forget to breathe it in. I forget to breathe out, and then I remember, or the other way around.
Say, when I breathe out, I forget when I breathe in. I remember.
Okay, and just a little. If it's no little, right?
You know, I think, you know, with these sayings, right? You know, certain sayings, it's supposed to be like something where it's something that it hits each person differently. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how you take it, but at the same time, it's a greater understanding to it as well. It's a lot of wisdom inside of it, you know. But I can't really say my take on it, because then that'd just be my take, you know, where the sayings is for how the person who's receiving it, how it's being taken. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I'll take some of your take.
All right, so now I have to see what my take is. All right. There's no take.
Okay, towel hat.
All right.
Towhat. Okay. It's a simple one. The point that asks, how can you get into an argument with yourself? Just similar to what she was asking about. Last update and Sunday, I think, they were breaking down the difference between your spirit, the spirits that you pick up when you listen to different people or beings or people from your past or your childhood, and the brother teaching was breaking down the Ba, the Ka, the Nefas, and something else, and then we went into the difference between your spirit and your soul, right, and how you take on spirits over time by accepting certain beliefs or things that people tell you. So I guess my question is, what is our way of deciphering your own true original voice?
Okay, what we have to realize is that it takes time, right? And every person's situation is different, right? Depending on how much people that particular individual intermix with, or by way of genetic kiss, sexually, you know, however it happened, each person would be different, because some people may have more DNA or more spirits than others, right? For men, there's a shorter time, you know, it's 6 to 8 weeks. For women, because they're internal beings, right, it's 7 years, right? So what happens is that sometimes the spirits, they linger in, right? The true way to find out your true voice, right, or the true you, is by way of Wu-Nuwaup, right? By reading the Ptah, by reading the actual fact, right? It awakens the real you, right? Where you can actually hear the distinction between those different voices, because when it's so much DNA inside different individuals, right, it begins to overtake them to the point where they actually lose themselves and they're no longer in control, right, because the amount of voices that they're hearing, and they can't decipher between the voices or the different spirits, right? So what happens is that it boils down to really living our culture, living our way, because as you keep reading, like Nabab Yaanuwn, he explained years ago, if you read Ptah for 30 days straight, you will be transformed, right? It's not something that happens overnight, but the more you read, right, the more you become aware. The more you become aware of the actions you do, the more you become aware of the voices that may be talking to you, right? Because a lot of times you can't tell the difference because you think it's you. You know, it could be over food, it can be over a relationship, it can be over anything. You know, it could be exercising. You know, there's all those voices are responsible for the actions that you take. So in order to get back to that voice that's yours, or that natural, because depending on how you raise, the type of environment you're in, right, the influences that surround you, all those play a part on how you're molded, So it's very important to make sure that you're consistent in reading the books, reading the Ptah, reading the Master Secrets, reading the actual facts. Because a lot of times we become complacent, even as Nuwaupians. We become complacent with the doctrine because we're dealing with a being who has an unlimited amount of doctrine, right? And we're so used to getting new doctrine. Every week we come here, we get new doctrine. We hear readings, we hear updates. A new book will come out, and we'll just be downloading. But the reality of it is that sometimes we're like, man, I haven't read a book in 2 months, in 3 months. Sometimes you have to really take time out, right, and really pick up a book and find the time in the day to try to read every day, because it's a part of your transformation. It's a part of our transformation. Wu-Nuwaup is a motivator and it's an activator of your DNA. And the only way it'll really activate is by you actually reading the words. Remember, not only Nabab Yaanuwn voice activates us, but it's by way he words, the way he writes and the way he words things, right? That also is a decoding of our DNA as well. Meaning most writers, they don't write the way Nabab Yaanuwn writes. He writes in such a way where it actually creates DNA explosions or DNA implosions inside of us, where we feel what's being said is right. That's that inner you that's feeling that. That's the inner you that is reaching out to. So it's real important to make sure that we stay updated on the Ptah, the actual facts, and the readings, because it's a part of our transformation. But there are also, to stick on the point, there are also rituals, right, that you can take to cleanse some of those things out, and particularly for the women, like the passkey ritual. You know, whatever takes place there, but there are certain rituals where you could be able to clean out your DNA or get rid of some of those spirits, right, from intermixing or however it came about, you know, or those voices, because they'll have an effect on your life, you know. And this is why it's important to know who and what you intermix with, because when you intermix with different individuals, you take upon their DNA, you take upon their spirit forces. So sometimes you may be arguing with yourself, right? And when in actuality, you're really arguing with another woman, or you're arguing with another male that's inside of you, that's stuck inside of you from 5 years ago. You know, and the only way to really acknowledge it is Wu-Nuwaup.
Tawhat, you answered many questions. So just to be clear, I'm also including as I said in my original question, the spirits that you take on as per what the teacher was saying, just by listening to other people, say outside you, or people from your past, including people you might have mixed with, or like all those things, is what you're saying, all inclusive. Meaning not just the ones you might have taken on from mixing with someone, I mean just people who you might have listened to. Because as per what he was teaching, just by listening to someone and accepting what they have said, you've taken on their spirit. Well, that's what he said. I don't know if that...
Well, and that's the thing why Wu-Nuwaup is the answer. Because with Wu-Nuwaup, we deal with sound right reasoning, right? So with reasoning, if someone is telling you something, right, or somebody's explaining something to you, right, or it may be a lie, it may be false accusations, it may be whatever, it may be to hurt somebody, whatever it may be, right? If an outside entity, if they did not intermix DNA with you, it's an outside entity saying whatever to you, right? As Nuwaupians, we do what? We do our research, right? We confirm on facts, right? We don't believe, right? We reason. We reason. Can we reason with this person? Is this person reasonable, right? These are things in Wu-Nuwaup that help us decipher between those outer voices, right? Because those can have an influence on you, right? It can be something as simple as religion. You know, a lot of us, a lot of people was raised in religion where they took on a certain character, or they was molded a certain way just by their parents or their grandparents telling them that this God exists or that God exists, you know, and they grew up believing those things. And those are different things from outer voices coming in. And eventually you become that person, because those are also spirit forces as well, or ghost forces as well, just like what the reading was talking about. Because why? Everything still deals with energy. Even if it's not something that's intermixed, it still deals with energy. And certain in spirits, they move by way of energy. When you drop your continence, when you drop your emotions, you start vibrating on 6 ether. You vibrate to their vibration, they vibrate low. You know, 6 ether forces, the mukasu. So when you're thinking on their frequency, right, and you're thinking with their mind state, right, and you drop your continence, whether it's getting angry, whatever it might be, fighting, all those type of attributes, right, those mental diseases, right, those things will drop your continence down and will lower your ether. And when you lower your ether, you allow those different spirit forces from the outside to come in. So those are also ways where outer forces can come in without physically touching you.
Well, Tawhat.
Is there any more questions? No questions? Okay, with that, Tawhat, Yasar, for coming out for another day, spending together with the family, for another reading. There is no updates today, the shadow. Tawhat Yasar.
you.